It's me again, your teacher for ICT Computer for grade 8. It's Miss Shivni. So for this second video, we're going to be learning about computer programs and basics. So the software that we are going to be using and how to use a computer, basically. That's what we're gonna learn for this video. So before we start, you should read your essential performance outcomes, program outcomes, life performance outcomes, content performance standards, and your most essential learning competencies. This module is good for 2 weeks. You can read this on your own time if you still have your modules. Hopefully you have your modules with you while we are doing the discussion. Okay? Okay. So before we start, let's talk about programs. So don't you think it's a bit of a chore? It's difficult to study computer without touching a computer, without seeing how it works. This is why I'm making this video actually. And it's difficult to learn it with just pictures because you can't really do the actions that are required so that the result in the picture comes up. But it's okay because we can contact each other on Facebook and on Messenger. But the thing is, how can we contact each other on Facebook and Messenger? What are the websites that we need to open and how do we open those websites? It's a very curious thing to be able to communicate on the internet, but how can we do that? What do we need to open? What should we look out for? Unsay atong bantayan, unsay atong gamiton, unsay atong tan-awon. Unsaon na nato pag navigate? How do we find our way around these things? Why don't we look and see so that we can learn even better? Before discussion, of course, we have to answer the Premodule first. So there are 3 statements over here, and if you agree with the statement, check the agree box. But if you don't agree, you can check the disagree box. But you also have this in your module. You can pause the video for a bit. In Premodule, you are supposed to answer with your assumptions, what you believe in. Before reading the module, what do you think about computers? Do you agree that an icon is a picture that represents a program? Do you agree that we need to know how to code to use a computer? What about right-clicking using a mouse will open a file? Do you agree or do you disagree? Like I said, these are your assumptions before we read the module. What do you believe in with the knowledge that you have right now? So, unsay mong nahibaw-an? Mutuo ka or di? With what you know. Okay, now let's get on it. Software and programs. So this is the first topic of the module. There are many types of programs that can be used when you are using a computer. Here on the table, this is not a full list of programs, but these are the most important ones that we will be using for our classes and for daily life, basically. So, as a normal person, these are the programs that you use. As a student, these are also the programs that you will use. To get these programs, you either have to download it from the internet or you can buy it from a shop in the form of a CD and you can insert it into your computer and install it. So what's a program? They look like these. If you remember from the first video, I said that software are programs. They are complex codes. Complex codes made by computer programmers to make our lives easier. So they invented the software using codes so that computers will be friendly to the normal people who don't know how to code. So, for example, Microsoft Word is a program, it's a software, and it is made of code, and after the coding part, it should look something like this. It should look something like this, the program. We also have Microsoft PowerPoint, Excel, The Sims 4 is also a program. Skype is a program, Discord is a program, Spotify is a program. All of these here below are programs coded by computer programmers to make our computers work easier for us. Okay? So, you might be wondering, Miss, you keep talking about codes. What do codes look like? Well, you can look at this. This is from my own blog. These are the codes. This is what codes look like. So of course, a normal person who has not studied any computer courses in college would not be able to read and operate this kind of thing. There are so many numbers, diba? Which is why coders have made something like this so it would be easier to customize. So we can do this instead. Since we can't read the code, we can't read this, we can't understand, and we don't know what to type in order to change the appearance of the blog on this side. Instead, they wrote this for us so we can just control it using here. So we can change the font. Ooh, changed. Title color, we can... Ooh. So it makes it easier for us. So code makes it easier for us without having to actually do code. Okay, so we don't need to type this to make anything work. That's the job of a computer programmer. Instead, with the code, they end up making this so it's easier for us to change this. So what kinds of programs are present in a computer? Well, there are lots of different types of programs, but these are the most important, like I said. So first of all, we have a word processing program for creating text-based documents. So anything that requires a lot of text, we use a word processing program. This is for your essays, your letters, your reports, anything that you want to write. You can also use it for poetry if you like writing that. So an example would be Microsoft Word, which is what you are looking at right now. So it basically shows you a bond paper and you can type anything you want on it. The next one is we have a spreadsheet program for creating numeric-based documents, meaning files with numbers on it, such as grading sheets, how to make grades and budgets. So we have examples like Microsoft Excel and Numbers for Mac. So what does a spreadsheet program look like? Let's try and open it. Okay, so like I said, it's used to create grading sheets. So here I have the grading sheets for you guys. Me. Let's try making a new one. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, so you can write numbers in it. 4, 5, 6. Oops. Okay, so we have 4 numbers over here, and what you can do is you can add them together by clicking AutoSum. And the answer is here. Sum A1 to D1. So of course, 4 plus 5 plus 2 plus 11 equals 22. That's the answer. There are also other functions for Excel. For example, let's make another number set. Again, so we have this 11, 13, 10, and 15. You select them all, and then you click average. So what's the average of 11, 13, 10, and 15? It's 12.25. You can do lots of things here. For example, so we have these things. We can highlight that, and then we can click this one, sort A to Z, and it arranges everything in alphabetical order. So from A to O. You can do lots of things with Excel, but those are just the basic things. Okay? So that is a spreadsheet program. And this one is a word processing program. Next is we have a presentation program for creating and presenting electronic slideshows. For example, your Microsoft PowerPoint. So let's look at it. What does it look like? So it looks something like this. Ooh. Computer, let's try it. Computer for grade 8. Looks something like that. You can add a new slide. Hello. Oops, wrong. Then we can add another one. For example, let's do something like that. We can also change the background by clicking design. Ooh, I like this one. This is cute. Ooh, that's pretty. We can also change the color if we want. There are only 4 colors for this one. Oh, wait. Ooh, okay, I like that one. So now we have those slides. We can present it like that. Woo, pretty. So that's what a slideshow looks like, and that's how you use Microsoft PowerPoint. Next is we have graphics programs for designing and manipulating images or drawing. For example, Adobe Photoshop or Paint Tool SAI. So when you need to draw something, you can use Paint Tool or Adobe Photoshop. There are also other programs, but these are the most popular ones. Okay, they're what we call graphics programs. I'm gonna show you something. This is a website that looks exactly like Adobe Photoshop, which we will be looking at in the second quarter. But for now, let's try doing this. Let's look for pictures. It's a nice picture to look at. Okay, never mind. Let's try this one. This one's easy. Okay, so we copy that image, then we can paste it here. So that's what we call a graphics program. And next we have desktop publishing programs for creating publications such as books, newspapers, magazines, brochures. There are 2 famous examples of desktop publishing programs. We have Adobe InDesign and Microsoft Publisher. Those are the most popular, but they're not the only ones. And then we also have entertainment programs for playing games, music, and videos. For example, we have here, this one, The Sims 4, which is a gaming program. So I can play The Sims using this program, and then I also have Spotify to play music. So as you can see, I listened to Ariana Grande yesterday. And then next we have database management programs for building large sets of data such as school records and list of addresses. So the school, of course, collects your addresses and we store it in a database management program where we can list your names and your addresses, your parents' names, and all of that. So we have an example here, Microsoft Access. And the next one, the last one, we have web browsers. These are programs for accessing the internet. So when we need something from the internet, of course, we use web browsers. So there are things like Google Chrome, Firefox, I personally use this one, which is called Opera. And for Mac users, we have this browser called Safari, which is okay. This is Safari. So when you need something from the internet, you use this program. Programs instruct computers in a language that computers understand, and computer programmers as well. This is what we call code, and it takes years to study code. But programs, they are invented by computer programmers and coders to be translators of computer language to English. So like I said earlier in here, we have all this code. We don't understand it. What is it talking about? So coders have made this to translate what the codes mean. So it's easier for us to customize this blog. Same goes for every computer in the world. To help us normal people, programs help us use a computer without learning a computer's language. Okay? That's the purpose of software or computer programs. Hopefully, you're still following, because we are going to go to Let's Try It 1. Let's Try It 1. Okay, over here. So I have given you situations, and what you need to do is to identify the computer program used in the following situations. So what computer program is being used in number 1? Writing a summary of a book for a school project. What computer program should be used? Should we use a spreadsheet program or a presentation program? Graphics, desktop, publishing? What program should we use? Please be mindful that when you are answering those questions, let's try it 1, the answers are from here. Not this one. Not the examples, but programs. Okay? So hopefully you still have your module with you. Let's identify the computer program used in the following situations. Okay? You can pause the video so you can answer the questions. I'll give you some time. And when you're done, you can play the video so we can continue to the next part of the module. Let's move on to the next part of the module, which is the operating system. So the most important program on any computer is the operating system, also known as the OS. It controls how the CPU communicates with other parts of the computer by telling it how to run itself and other programs. The OS makes running computers easier for normal people who do not know how to read programming languages. So in short, OS makes computers user-friendly. So the OS is how a computer works. It's the controlling factor of the computer. So an OS makes computers user-friendly because it dictates how a computer should be operated in a way that is easier for its users to use without having to look at any code. So different computer manufacturers or inventors use different operating systems. For the computers in school, they use Windows, which is developed by Microsoft Corporation, Bill Gates. And it looks something like this. I think you've seen it. It's actually very popular. I think a lot of gamers also use this kind of operating system. They use Microsoft computers. Some people don't use Microsoft computers. Instead, we use Apple computers like me. So my operating system is Mac OS, also known as Catalina. It depends on the version. But I use a Mac, so my operating system is Mac OS. They're all aesthetically different. What does that mean? It means that the design is different. The decoration is different. So for example, the Windows OS might look like this, but the Apple one looks like this. It looks kind of different, doesn't it? So they're all aesthetically different, but they use something called the Graphical User Interface, also known as a GUI. So a GUI, the word graphical comes from the word graphic, meaning pictures. A GUI means that a user uses a computer based on pictures or the icons. These are tiny pictures that lead to folders and programs. So we see here at the bottom, there are lots of pictures. These are what we call icons, and they represent files or programs that can be opened. The same goes for here. In your Mac desktop, I have so many icons here at the bottom representing a file or a program that I can open. So like I said here, anything that is in picture form does not express their purpose in words and are clickable, they are icons. So you can press this, and they will open a program. For example, like this one, I clicked the Spotify icon and it opened my Spotify playlist. Hopefully you're still following. There are several versions of Windows: Windows XP, Vista 7, and Windows 10. Same goes for Apple Macs because we are always trying to improve our technology as years go by. Sometimes there are things that no longer work or are a little bit weird for the time, so they remove it or they change it to make it better. When the company thinks that its operating system is ready and has become more advanced, then it releases the new version. So if you look here, the Catalina operating system needed to be updated when I was writing this module. So I was able to show you the notification or the message that they sent me saying that an update is available and we should update it now. See, update now. And that means that the computer will be able to move faster because of the update. Let's go to this one. So the first screen, when you turn on your computer, is called the desktop. So it is the background for the programs and it contains the icons which you need to access your programs. So the desktop is covered with a picture. So this is your desktop. The entire thing is the desktop. So we have this and we have the icons and we have the files over here on this side, whatever you want. And behind on the desktop, the background is what we call a wallpaper. It can be any picture you want. It can be a family picture. It can be your picture of when you went to Bantayan. And for my case, my wallpaper is obviously someone that I like. He is from 80s. You can also use your own art that you drew. It serves as the backdrop for your work area. It doesn't really matter if you have a wallpaper or not, but if you want to be inspired or if you want your computer to look pretty, you can put any wallpaper that you want. Okay? So the large picture in the back is the wallpaper. So for this computer, the wallpaper is this one, the Windows logo that's glowing. That's the wallpaper. But this entire picture shows the desktop. This is actually the computer in the school library, by the way. I don't have a Windows computer with me. The black bar here at the bottom for a Windows computer is what we call the taskbar. Okay, so here in the taskbar, everything that you opened is here in icon form. So if we zoom in a little bit, if you can see here, this is the icon for Windows, and then this is the icon for Google Chrome, and this one is the icon for the printer. So if you see, there is a blue line at the bottom of these icons. It means that the program is open. It's just minimized. So like I said, everything you open is listed here. So we've opened Microsoft Word, Google Chrome, and the printer, but I just hid it from the screen so that it looks clean. Same goes for here. This is my taskbar here at the bottom, and I minimized this one, the Excel, the PowerPoint, and the web browser. I minimized it so I can see it here, that these programs are still open and working, but they're not on my screen. It's just here, hidden at the bottom. I'm not looking at it, but I hid them here. Same goes for this one. I hid them so they're not on the screen. Other than that, the taskbar also has these things called the quick launch. So quick launch is basically some icons, programs that you used before, you used it a lot of times. So the computer says, oh, you probably like this program a lot, so we'll just keep it here at the bottom for you so it's easier for you to find. Since it's so important to you, let's put it here so you don't have to go looking for it. So for this computer, we use the Microsoft Edge web browser and the Document Explorer a lot. So the computer decided to put it there because it's important. And when you click the things over here, you can only click it once and it will open. For example, this one. See, I clicked it once and I was able to open this program. But for example, when clicking this one, I clicked it once, it didn't open. I had to click it twice. Okay? So everything here at the bottom can be clicked once. Same goes for your Microsoft computers. When you click it once, it will open. But if the file is here on the desktop or this one, you have to click the mouse twice. We have here at the bottom the Start button. This is the full list of programs that you have on your computer. So when you are looking at your desktop, you can put whatever you like on the desktop. In the library computer at school, we thought that this one, and these ones, I thought that they were the most important, which is why they're on the desktop. But your full list of programs and software that you put on your computer can be found in the Start button. This entire half window opens. And here, most used, A, B, C, all your files are in here. This is how it looks like when you click Start Open. You can see the full list of programs here. It's listed and you can scroll up and down on that if you are looking for a certain file. Oops. We keep talking about icons. So what are icons? So of course, icons are small pictures, tiny little pictures on the desktop or your taskbar, if you will, that represent files and programs. So double-clicking, when you are double-clicking, you tap the left button of your mouse twice. That means double. When you say double, it means two. So when you click your left button twice in a very fast manner, like this, it means that you are opening a program or accessing a file. So whatever program or file, you are opening it by double-clicking it. And when you are right-clicking, you click the right button on your mouse once, it opens a menu showing options and commands. For example, this one, I right-clicked it, and then you can see these options. There's a menu of options. You can also put other icons on the desktop that will let you quickly access programs or files. For example, like I said, this one. And you can also move them around. How do you move them around? For example, here, I have this folder called Stuff. I clicked it once, I can move it to here. I can also move it to here. Then it can go back to here if I want. So that's how you drag a icon. You can also right-click a program. This one, I right-click this folder called Stuff, and I am able to see the menu of options that I have. Same goes for Windows. I right-clicked this monitoring sheet file, and I am able to see the options that I can use for this file. But if we double-click a file, or any icon, we can see something. For example, this one. Let's double-click this one. I opened the first part of this video. We can play it. So that's how that works. By double-clicking, you open the file. By right-clicking, you open the options, like this one. By long pressing and moving it, you are dragging and dropping. So you click it, a long press, move the file, and then if you like this spot, you let go. That's what we call the drag and drop. So when you click the start button earlier, like I said, here's the start button. Look at your module, it's there as well. There's a start button over here, and it opens this small window of options. Your entire list of all the programs and files in your computer that weren't seen on the desktop. So these are just parts that you really like, but this is the full list here on the start button. It contains several choices, and the choices have arrows next to them, which means that those choices have other menus. So for example, in your start button, for example this one, if you look clearly, Canon Utilities has a small arrow here on the side, so it has more options when we click that folder. But for example, this one, Google Chrome, doesn't have an arrow, so when you click that, it will just open Google Chrome. There are no other options. Okay, so these things, here in the table, these are basic start menu options. These are already there when you buy the computer. You don't need to install them or anything, so you can have them. It's already there. These are very important options to have. So control panel, it is the computer settings. This provides options for changing the functions of the computer. So when you are at the control panel, you can change your wallpaper if you like. You can change the sound quality. You can change your internet connection. Which Wi-Fi would you want to connect to? You can use your Wi-Fi. You can use your neighbor's Wi-Fi. Everything, all the settings are in the control panel. And then here, there's also a search option when you are looking for specific files, folders, or programs that you cannot find with your own eyes. And we also have here Run. It allows users to input commands to access specific programs, and this is very, very important for computer programmers. They know the code to input here, and this is usually used for when you're fixing a computer. And then of course, we also have the shutdown button. When you click open the start menu, you will see the shutdown option. If you look over here, there it is, this one. You click that one and you are presented with options. It's either shutdown, restart, or sleep. So we have here, it is the button to turn off the computer, and when you restart, it means to turn off the computer and turn it on again automatically right after it shuts down. So imong gi-on og balik ba? But the computer does it for you instead of you having to do it yourself. Okay, hopefully I am explaining this better to you. Next, we have the Windows. Many programs and applications run within Windows. These are rectangles on the screen that show what you are doing in a certain program. So this one, this word processing program is run inside a window. This is a window. This entire square. And when we minimize the window, we see the desktop. We see the wallpaper. Let's open the window again. See? So these programs can be maximized. So for Mac, we press this green button and it's maximized, full screen. Or minimized. So for Mac, we press this yellow button and it's gone. It's hidden here instead. Or it can be resized to make smaller, to make it bigger. Smaller, bigger. Or it can be closed as well. Like this red button, it closes a program, for example. Let's close it. And save. And it's gone. And it's not here as well at the bottom. So at the top of each window, so this is a window, right? Here at the top, this is what we call the title bar. And the title bar holds the options, the control menu. So for the Windows computers, this is what your title bar looks like. And for the Mac, this is what the title bar looks like here at the top. And I showed it earlier, how to close for the Mac, how to minimize, and how to full screen, how to maximize your windows. For your Windows computers, we have here the X, which is over here. This is your exit button. It allows you to close the window or end the program completely. So it's over here to this side. When you restore a program, it allows you to return the window to its previous size. This is especially important when your window is in full screen. So when it's in full screen, you will see this. It allows you to return the window to its previous size. So when it's full screen, it's like this. And for example, you click this button, it goes back to being small, and you can resize it, doing something like this. But when it's full screen or maximized, you can't change the size. It's full screen, that's it. Okay, so that's what we call the restore button. It looks like this. For this one, this is what we call the minimize. Here, it's also over here. So when you click minimize, it hides the program from the desktop, but it's still running. So when I click that, it's not on the screen anymore, but you can still see it. It's here at the bottom. It's still running. It's hidden. It will appear on the taskbar as an icon, and to open it again, you just click the icon. For example, I minimized it. It's hidden here. How do we open it again? You just click it. Simply. And it will appear on your desktop like this. Okay? So it is also possible to have several windows open and lined up, like this one. If you line them up, this is what we call a cascade. So let's try making a cascade. Hey. Oops. Okay. So we have here this window, and then we have this window over here. Let's have this window over here. And we've made a cascade. That's cool. We made a cascade. So we've lined up all the programs that we're using here in like a staircase motion. And the most active window that you are using is always in front. So what you're using currently is always in front. So for example, we're using this one, your week 2 module. So of course, this is the active window. Let's minimize all these others. Okay. Okay, next up we have menus. So in the Windows OS, the menu bar is found under the title bar. For example, this is your title bar. The menu bar is over here at the bottom. But for the Mac OS, your title bar is under the menu bar. But it still shows the same options for both Windows and Mac. Okay, so here are some basic examples of menus. For example, we have File. So it allows us to make new documents, open old documents, close, and print. So we have options here on what we can do with the file. We can make a new file, we can save the file, we can print the file, and all that. There's also edit, which is cut, copy, paste, and all of that. And then we have view. So how will this file appear on the screen? So we have the print layout, how it looks like when it's printed. Like I said, the bond paper. It looks like bond paper, see? And then we can also use the web layout, which gives it a full screen effect. And then we have all these others. And then we also have help. If we are having a little bit of trouble understanding or looking for a particular function, we can always type our questions here in the search, or you can also click word help. So there are many things you can do. You can change the colors and everything, but there are also options on how to edit your files over here at the top. Okay? Let me bring it back. Print layout. So there are many options. So we also have insert, we also have format, tools, table, when you draw a table, when you need to draw a table, to insert pictures and stuff like that. there are many different types of menus. For every program, the menu is different. For example, this one. So for file, open the new tab, window, blah, blah, blah. We also have undo, redo, view in actual size, zoom in or zoom out, your bookmarks, hide them, your history, and how to reach the makers of this browser. It's not necessarily important to memorize menus, but it's good to know that they are there. So when you need help, you can always look at these things, and they're always present in every program. It's important that they're in every program. So like I said, here in the browser, I also have menus. Here in PowerPoint, there's also menus. If you open other programs, there are also menus for it. Let's try opening this one. So you have QuickTime Player. It also has menus here at the top. See? If you open Spotify, see, there are also menus. The options are different, but there are always menus. Okay? All you need to do to understand how these work is to read. Reading is very important. So under the menu bar, you will find a toolbar. So this is the toolbar. It is a bar of icons or options that allow you to perform specific actions. For example, you want to change the color of this text. So you can look at the toolbar, and here we have the font color. So you can click that. Oh, it's red. You can also click more options. It's orange now. Or we can click it and it'll be green. We can go back to black if we want. This is the home toolbar, your main toolbar. This is another toolbar called Insert, where you can put in pictures and links to Wikipedia and stuff like that. And then we can also draw. There's pens here. Design how your paper is going to look like. Layout, like your paper size and all of that. Your margin size. So these things over here, the tabs here and everything that they show here, these are the toolbars. Hopefully you're following. Everything that I'm explaining to you is literally in the module. The only thing you need to do is to read it, because all the answers are there. And then of course over here in the main body of the window, so like I said, this is a window. This entire program is in a window. When you look to the side, you can also look here at the bottom, there are scroll bars. So this scroll bar over here on the side helps you go up, helps you go down. The scroll bar here at the bottom helps you go from side to side. The scroll bars appear when the information or contents are too long to fit within a window. So, oh god, it's too long. Why would I need to open another window when I can just put a scroll bar here to help me move up and down? So this one, oh, I can't see the words. Oh, let's move to this side. Let's move to this side. Let's move to this side. Like that. Let's move up. Let's move down. Up. Let's move down. That's how the scroll bar works. And they appear only when the information is too long. For example, let's make a new document. There are no scroll bars in this file. There are no scroll bars. But when you need to zoom, you can't see the rest of the paper. So of course, the scroll bar appears. See? So now we've learned about menus and scroll bars and icons. Now we are gonna go to, let's try it too. There are definitions from the module. I've literally just copy-pasted the definitions. So what you need to do is to just write the letter of the correct answer on the blank. Okay? So when information is too large to fit in a window, these bars appear to help you find your way around. Oh my gosh, I think it's minimized. So you write the letter F over here. Okay? So I've just copy-pasted all these definitions from the module. The answers are all up here. You just need to know where to find them. Okay? And if you read the module properly, and if you've listened to my discussion, you would be able to hear the answer. You would be able to know where to find the answer. Okay? So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, here are the questions. Write the letter of the answer, okay? You don't need to show me, you don't need to write the whole word for me. So you can pause the video for a bit and then you answer. And when you're done answering, you can play the video and we can continue. Hopefully you were able to answer your let's try it too. Now let's move on to the final topic of the module, which is how to use a mouse. So we have a mouse over here. This is what it looks like. And it lets you select and move an object on the screen, any object. So when you move the mouse, the pointer on the screen, which is this one, if you can see, we have an arrow over here. The pointer on the screen moves in the same direction and assumes different shapes depending on its location and the screen and task you are performing. For example, over here, if we minimize that window, we can see the arrow is an arrow. But when we open this file and it's hovering over a set of words, it becomes a line. So it's different for every window that you open. For this one, there's no window, so it's just a simple arrow. But for this one, because it's over some words, it becomes a line for highlighting. Okay? So over here, we have different functions of the mouse. So we have here point. You get to move the mouse until the printer is at the desired location on the screen. So we can point at anything. So here, we have the arrow pointing at the folder stuff. Then we have here another screen recording. We're just basically pointing. The same way you point your finger without touching anybody, that's how you point. So when you click, how do we click? So on using the left button here, this one, of your mouse, you press once, then let go. It is how you select an icon, link, or file. It means that you have chosen this particular thing. So when you click like that, it is selected. Here, we click this one. Click, click. You click once. That is when you press and release the left button quickly. You let go of the left button. Next one is the right click. So using the right button on your mouse, the same way you use your left button, diba sa click, kay ang left button, you press once and then let go. The same way gihapon sa right click, you press the right button once and it shows your list of commands. Woo! This one, the next one is double click. So you click the left button twice, 2 times, very quickly, like this. And it opens the file that you want to open or the program that you want to open. Okay? Like I said again, double click, meaning you click your left button twice and it opens. Next one is your drag and drop. You put your mouse over the item, long press, don't let go, okay? Long press, and then you get to move this thing around, your file around. And then when you feel like you like this particular spot, you let go. Buhian mo. So balik. Long press, drag, buhi. See, it's transferred. So that's what we call your drag and drop. So you drag and then you let go. That is what we call the drop. Drag and drop. Okay? And when you scroll, you use this one. This is actually a wheel. So using your scroll button, it helps you navigate quicker. You don't need to use these scroll bars if you have a scroll wheel. You get to go down, and then you get to go up. That's how you use your scroll wheel. You just roll the wheel, you get to go down, and you get to go up using your wheel. So we have here point. You just put your cursor over there, your arrow. You don't have to press anything. You just let it float above the file. But to click, you press and release using your left button. Click once. See, after clicking once, it's selected. That's your left click. To right click, same thing. Click the file, but using your right button, click once. And then you get to see the menu of options. So again, left click once, select, right click once, menu. To open a file, you double click using your left button, meaning you click it twice very quickly, like this. See, it's open. And the next is you drag and drop. So you long press the file, you move, you let go, drop. Drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. And then, of course, we have the scroll wheel over here. It helps you move down and up. After that, you get to answer your Let's Try It 3. So here we have a list of choices A, B, C, D, and E. So you have to identify the mouse action. Here are your mouse actions. I am describing the mouse actions over here. What you just need to do is to write the letter of the correct answer. And your answers can be found here in using the mouse. Okay, don't worry so much about it. You can find your answers here in using the mouse. So identify the mouse action described by writing the letter of the correct answer here on the blanks. So using this action, an icon displays a list of commands or a menu or the screen. Maybe it's letter E. That's right, letter E. Okay? If you listened to the discussion or you read the module yourself, you can answer this on your own. Okay? You know where to find the answers. So press pause on the video so you can answer for a bit, and then you can play this again once you are done. Take your time. Okay, hopefully you have finished answering Let's Try It 3. Now let's go back to post module, your map of conceptual change. So the same questions from your pre-module have come back, but then you might have already realized that some sentences over here, maybe one or two, are very wrong. Because you've learned something from the module, you've realized that something is wrong in the sentences here. So your answers might change. So do you still agree that an icon is a picture that represents a program? Do you still agree that we need to know how to code to use a computer? Do you still agree that right-clicking a mouse will open a file? If you have paid attention to your module, to the discussion, and to reading it, you will know which one is wrong. Hopefully, you have learned something from this video and you have done better in this second chance of answering the activity sheet. What you're gonna do now is answer the questions in the activity sheet directly onto a piece of paper and then take a picture of your answers and then send it to me on Messenger. You guys know where to find me anyway. Okay? So the deadline for this would be on November 4. Hopefully that will be enough time for you because this is just a remedial. It's just reviewing everything and making sure that you are still following everybody. Hopefully this has been of great help to you and that we will be doing better for the next quarter. Okay? See you guys around. Be safe. Bye-bye.